Welcome back to the Sound for More channel. Today I have the pleasure to introduce you to Atoms from Baby Audio. Indeed, it has been released on iOS, and that's a fantastic news. I already created a video for desktop, and now, we have it inside an iPad, which is amazing. Before I continue, I would like to remind my viewers to subscribe, as it helps with growing the channel. Thank you very much. Additionally, if you would like to support what I do, please do check again the description of the video, which includes information on how to do that. Okay, so let's kick off. It's a physical modeling synthesizer, and there are not many around, especially on iPad OS or for iOS devices in general. As you can see, AUv3 compliant. It's very small. It says around 65 megabyte, which is great. That's the beauty of having a physical modeling synthesizer, in trying to emulate that a physical mass structure with springs, all interconnected. You can do a lot of things. It excites those by a bow action movement, which of course is emulated. So in terms of video, you can also have a look at the desktop edition video or tutorial, because it is exactly the same. It maintains the same user interface, the same controls, and it sounds amazing. It's great for those ambient type of sounds, great on pads. My favorites are pulsing presets. Perhaps is not the best when it comes to presets like bass, perhaps lead, right? Keys is not too bad, and then you have also black sounds, because it's a physical modeling synth. Will do really well, for example, producing some flute type of sounds. Those instruments which has a bow action, it will be excellent for those type of preset sound which are more like used on EDM, techno, etc. is not probably the synth for you, but it's an amazing synth. Okay, so up here you have a selection of preset with some packs here, which is great, and also access to a user pack as well. You can import, export, randomize the selection, save and delete, and then of course scroll up and down to select. Right, it shows you also the name of the pack here as you change. So if you scroll down, you see at some point you will see the new pack coming in here, which is that one, right? And then you start with the name of the presets which belong to that pack. You can also see support for MPE there, which is great if you have a controller, of course, that supports it. But let's continue a little bit the exploration of some of the presets, because as I mentioned, I have already created a video tutorial, but also what it is really good at is to have an online help. More than online help is a context sensitive help, so which reminds you straight away what the controls do. So I'll show you that in a sec. It's also very good with movement, therefore drones, for example, sound really nice as well. Although there are not many presets, but of course you can create your own. Now let's change again. Let's find some other presets which are perhaps more amazing. So let's go to the pulsing section, because that is my favorite one. They really sound really nice. Can hear straight away that there's a lot of movement in that, because he has also different type of modulation sources that you can use. Let's try these flares. Great. Let's try these pulsing scenes. That is one of my favorite. You can see that the representation here in the middle changes. It changes based on the profile down here, which you can have standard, enharmonic, alternative, and lo-fi. That changes the profiles of the mass and springs, of course. And also changes the representation. That is one note, and you can see when I add another note, it represents the second note with different colors and shape. I could go to enharmonic, which changes the mass. As you can see, there is a condenser help there, which is absolutely great, right? I can go for this one with this alternative one. And this last one, lo-fi. And of course, being a physical modeling synth, it produces really great sounds with a bow action. Can produce crystal sounds, glass sound, right, flute sound as well. Really nice. Now you can see here the description by the audio, and also you saw a moment ago some help, right? If you don't like the help, click here and remove it, clicking on the eye here. But if not, leave it on. I prefer to leave it on. It's not that intrusive. So if I click here, for example, it tells you this is to transpose the route up and down. This one is for your attack, okay, and ranging from strike to swell. This one is for your release, okay, which practically influence the decay. And then you have movement here, right? And that is depth and speed of the bowing back and forth. I think this is where it could do with a little bit of, in my view, the UI sometimes is a little bit small. And I hope you have a big iPad. If you're using iOS, and on an iPad mini, might be very difficult to use it. So that's probably one piece of feedback, although the interface is actually really nice. But anyway, so here you can adjust depth and speed. And then, of course, you can sync to the host tempo here, right? can see the changes in the middle. The best way to actually understand these is to go to an initialize preset, which is at the very top, and then you can act on it. So you can hear it, right? Def, and of course you can change the speed as well. Okay. All right. So here you have modulation. And if you right click enough, you can have also learn option if you want to map external controllers, particularly in AUM. Again, you can adjust, it's like a chorus effect. As it says here, it varies the pickup location, which is great. And then you have vibrato as well. And double click, of course, if you don't want them to, if you want to reset the value, right? Like so to 0. Here you have vibrato, right? As always, def on the left-hand side, and then on the right-hand side, you have speed, right? And then here, host to tempo. And this is your reverb effect, mix and the size, mix horizontally and size vertically. And then your final output there. While I'm here, before I continue to browse some presets, let me show you. You have a chaos here, which you can adjust, okay? This is great if you want to introduce pitch glides, detuning, as it says there. You can change here, click and hold and move up and down your mouse, or of course you can use touch gesture as well. You can hear is acting on detuning as well. Here you have order as well, which is affect practically the dumping, right, on your decay, how much dumping you want to do. Then, of course, it depends on the type of sound you have available. Then you have force here, the force for the bow, which is simulated, of course. And you can hear that the force has been enhanced there. Then you have overtones here, which is great, allows you to get a little bit more flavor, right? Changes the position of the bow. The position in terms of where it is played against that mass and interconnected springs, right? Then you have drive with, of course, harmonic clipping and wave shaping. And finally, you have a filter, just a traditional filter, right? But again, you can change it here to resonance or not, depending on what you like to do. And then you can see these off buttons here, and when you click on it, it gives you a source for modulation. Okay, you can of course sync to host here. You can invert the automation direction, and then here you can have free retriggering on hold, and of course hold is like a retrigger, but in terms of it's practically an LFO, right? But it stops after it played once. Okay, so and then here you set the speed. Here then you can adjust it to sine, to so, or add a drift as well, random with a bit of drift. So let's go to sine. Okay, and then oops, sorry. Here you can adjust. You click and hold, you adjust the starting point. Here you can also click and drag the circle to copy automation setting to other parameters, which is really a nice touch, I think. Let's do it on the K. Well, actually, let's do it here on the overtone. Let's select so. See, touching on the end, you can adjust the starting and stopping position in terms of modulation, so you can make it positive, negative, depending on where it starts and stop. The other thing that I really, really like is you can randomize, click the randomize button here. And it really creates some authentic preset. Click again as many times as you like. If you like what you heard, you can minimize the changes, clicking here. You can lock parameters, and clicking on them if you don't want them to change. And of course, you can undo. Here you have a bit of a quick start, but it's really simple, right? So MPE, you can switch from that to the 4/2 modulation as well, as you prefer. Here from polyphonic to monophonic, right? And then here you can adjust the global tuning if you prefer to. And then here you have a panic button, right? And then here you have your settings. We have seen the help here, which you can remove. And then you have this one here, which is echo mode, stop all voices and disable the chaos parameter. Here you can see it is disabled. And then here you can adjust the theme. I prefer the black, actually. Let's remove the I for help. So you can create some really, really nice sounds. But let me show you how it performs now, for example, with basses. It's not so bad. So for those type of basses or sounds where you think, for traditional bass guitar, I think it would perform really well there. Also, you see up here the percentage utilized in terms of the ESP. So I'm using an iPad Pro M1 just as a reference. Let's go and try some lead. It definitely has strength. It goes without saying, something like a flute type of sound, it will produce that really well. Or any type of lead, like strings, will work extremely well. Of course, pads are really nice, depending, of course, on what they are. Remember, this is a physical modeling synth, so it's not your traditional samples synth, right? Let's try some plucks. You can hear the type of simulation is coming forward now in terms of type of sound. But can create some really nice plucks. Really great. Let me give you an example of some strings. Sometimes I find the richness of the sound can produce some distortion, so be careful in terms of polyphony and type of chords. But this sounds amazing. Now let's scroll down. On the second pack we have some drones, so let's see how this sounds. You can see here at the top, it's monophonic. See some picking here. Perhaps you want to add a soft clip after the Atom Synth, perhaps in the insert effect. Let's try these, some presets from the sequence bank. I wish it would have smooth sound transition between the presets. It would be amazing. They are more, they're definitely sequences, but they're based on practically the modulators running, right? You can see here is running against the filter, right? If you want to make it polyphonic, act here. That's nice. You can go here to the next one. So a lot of fun. Clicking here, we can see the number of AU parameters exposed. So you can see A is pretty generous. So that means you can control it from other application, whether that is a DAW, MI rack, Drumbo, or whatever you prefer to use, right? But you can control those, you can map them, which is fantastic news. So it's really, really great. I really love it, but is a virtual, is a physical, of course, it's virtual, a physical modeling synth, right? It's not your traditional synth. So it's not good for every type of preset, but if you're looking for ambient, organics type of effects, some pulsating pads, some different type of pads, it is excellent for those. It's really good. I think in my view, the interface is lovely. It really, really looks nice, but it can be difficult to read if you have a more display. And just let me show you something. Let's connect it to the AUM keyboard and let's resize it. You can see it's starting to get difficult to read, at least in my case. But then again, it depends on the size of the iPad that you currently use. So good CPU usage, considering that this physical modeling is really good in terms of space, 65 megabyte of space on your iPad, which is fantastic. A lot of modulations, which is good. Perhaps next, it would be great if Baby Audio allowed us to change the profiles here, or better create profiles instead of having those ones. And perhaps also adding some effects would be really, really good. I think the cherry on the cake probably would be a sequencer inside, which you can perhaps multi-tracks. In that case, you could overlay different layers with different type of sound. But again, you could use another external sequencer for that, and having multiple instances of atoms if you prefer to do it in that way. So overall, I definitely recommend it if you like that type of sound, if you want ambient drones, pulsating pads, and also some flute type of sounds, or the physical modeling type of sounds which you can produce with a bow action. I definitely recommend it. A great addition to the iOS ecosystem. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time. Bye.